Hey,
Hello, hello.
how is it going?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. We had a nice weekend. My husband took like Friday and Monday off, so we relaxed.
That sounds nice. Did you go anywhere?
Went to the restaurant for the first time. Was it last week though? With the kids, like as a family, we went for the first time to the restaurant, so it's a bit interesting. You know, all these clear walls everywhere and
Oh, did they have like real? Yeah,
partitions. Yes.
really? Here they don't bother with that.
Oh no.
No.
Hi, June.
Hi, Diana.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. So today it's Tuesday, and so we're working on cupcakes. Han's got a little twist on her cupcakes, but I'm going to be starting today, and we'll jump into it. Enough chit chat. Let me turn on my cameras. Hello, Amber.
Hey, Ems.
Hopefully my camera will work today.
I will be fine. My light just broke, so it's like
Oh,
that's why it's like there's a shadow. It just broke.
cool. There's my little red light. All right, so there are my cupcakes. So today I thought, is it focused there? So today I thought I'd just do a little slight variation on the common cupcakes that we see. I do have a supply list up in the coffee shop. So both Amber and I, not Amber, what am I saying? Han and I have, because Amber's on with us on Friday. I'm looking for the button.
The button for the
For
oh,
both.
for the coffee shop.
Yes. Oh, here it is. There. So there's our coffee shop links if you want the supply list. Hans isn't up yet, but she said she'll have it on Friday. And so I've added cookies to my cupcakes there. So the rose on the left is a very common cupcake. We see that many times, but I changed it up by adding a little leaf cookie to the side. And then here, this is a cookie, the butterfly. They're sweating a little bit. They just came out of
the butterfly is a cookie?
Yes. They're sweating a bit. They just came out of the freezer. My kitchen's a bit hot. That's the difference between royal icing and buttercream. I mean, buttercream is impacted by heat, but just not to the same degree, right? It's like a little bit more forgiving for hot climate. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Debbie.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hello, everyone. So I did pre-record some stuff, and so here is that leaf that you're seeing on the rose. So it's just a small cookie cutter from Sweet Sugar Bells, a mini set. She has 2 collections, and both are awesome. So 40 cutters for like $20, and super versatile shapes, and great if you want to make little sets, and they're cupcake sized. So that was kind of the more simple version, but I did make another design with that same shape here. You can see them next to each other.
Yeah, oh, these are so cute. I love the one on the there. I love them both. Not the one on the left.
Yeah, so it's a versatile shape, you see. So now I'm just showing the other version. So this is royal icing, and the cookies are rolled at half the usual thickness. So normally I'd roll at a 1/4 inch, so they're like at an 1/8 inch. And so they're thinner, a little bit more fragile. You have to watch them in the oven. And here I'm just adding a bit of icing at the ends of those circles. And then I'm dunking that in white nonpareil and then filling the rest. So it gives like the illusion that there's like a little flower or something, a little spray of, something. It's just a different version if you want to add that to your flowers. So just going to quickly show you. So my cupcakes here, these are actually vanilla, but it's a a food color that's made for baking by Drip Color, and they are flavored. So this is black cherry. And you can see here, you want to think about how much of the actual cookie you want to have sticking out from the cupcake. Now you need a certain amount to be there to anchor to the surface, right? So I've seen people pipe a leaf on, but the thing with that is it's quite fragile. If it is hot, it's just going to melt a little, you know. So here I'm kind of pressing it in like that, and I'm going to grab the, what is this? A 1B. And when you're piping these, I always forget, do you start from the middle or do you start from the outside? So you start from the bud and you build out. So you're going around in a constant squeeze. So once you start, you have to commit. You can't stop squeezing mid-flower. You commit and you release pressure as you know you're going to end. Okay, so this is the hardest part is the consistent pressure. And if you have hot hands, you might want to have 2 bags that you rotate, one in the fridge and just kind of switch them out, you know. So I'm squeezing, I'm releasing here and there. So if you have little pearls and such, you can kind of add that to the little end. But you see, it gives it just a little different look to it.
It's very
And
pretty.
they have an added little tree because they have a lot of.
You used on the rosette. What's the color? It's a really
Oh,
nice.
that's the Drip Color again. I'm experimenting with them. I'll talk about them a little bit more in depth once I've figured it out. Like this was a pinkish color. I used another one and I wasn't super happy with it, but this one's quite pretty. So it's powdered food color, Drip Color. You can look them up. They have a huge assortment of colors. So yeah, so you see a lot of the cupcakes, they have macarons on them, macaroons, and all kinds of chocolate and different things. So this is a version to have a little cookie, a little decorated cookie. So another thing that I made is a little bee. So here he is. This is another Sweet Sugar Belle cookie cutter. This is from her Stacker set. She just re-released it actually, but you can find it on Amazon. So it's a little petal tip for the wings. And then I'm just filling the rest in yellow. And this is a cute for baby shower, the what will it be baby shower. So many themes. The bees are very popular, right? So you can little bees. You're not a fan of fondant, you could just make some little cookies and add that to your cupcakes. So very simple, just some yellow icing, popping in a little pearl eyeball, his little butt, this little stinger.
Diana is asking, does buttercream will soggy the cookies after some time?
Yes, I would imagine, but if you pop them in the freezer or in the fridge, you know, to keep your buttercream, and my cookies are on the crunchy side, so I think it depends on the consistency of your cookie.
I find it takes some time because I have done some buttercream and cookie, you know, it takes some time for them to kind of get like super soggy. Amber is asking, can you use the flavored food coloring in icing too?
No, this one is cooked. It's got to be, the instructions anyway say to cook it, and the color changes once it's been cooked. It's made special because so many of the food colors, when you cook them, they kind of disappear. This intensifies when it's in the oven.
Oh.
Which is a bit different.
Well, I wonder if you could, if you heat the water that you use to make icing, if you heat the water, that it's like...
I guess you could, but...
And then you cool it, I don't know.
You can have the flavor in the cake. So now I'm just doing this is a smaller kind of roses. I'm just doing 3 this time here, and we're going to add the little bee to this. So I buttered the bag with some purple, and you see you can just pop on your little bee. And then I've got the green, and I'm just filling in the gaps with some green icing here. A super fast and easy design. And you have your little bee.
Too much buttercream. It's the right amount.
It's the right amount?
Yeah, for me anyway. What's this?
This is a bow tie that I cut in half, and again with the cookie skills, it's basically just a miniature version of a wet on wet butterfly. And really the same that you would do, just you have to think smaller. These are tiny, again, rolled at half the thickness. And I've got it separated so that I can kind of create a bit of an angle when I put it in my cookie. So these are fun because you can kind of make them in advance. And if you're not a fan of fondant, so many people say, I don't like fondant. Well, this is your option. So once they're dry, because you need to have them dry, you're going to be handling them. Something to consider is if the buttercream touches your royal icing, it can cause butter bleed. And so you can either spray them with edible shellac, or you can just, depending on, like the bee, for example, is not touching the buttercream. So I'm going to do basically the same design here as before with the bee. I'm just creating these.
A little forward.
Oh, there. And then I'm grabbing my little butterfly wing. So obviously you want to make sure you have your two sides. And I'm just pressing that in there.
I thought this was the way it looked. I thought it was a transfer. I didn't even notice the cookie.
And then here's some black buttercream just to do a little body to hide that ugly seam. And again, just a few leaves to hide the gaps. The leaves are great to hide anything you don't want to, you know.
What's this tip? It looks smaller than 352. What's this tip?
It's not written. It's one of those no-name brands. I don't have a number on it. So I'm just going to show one more and then I'm done. Let me get it out of the freezer. So the last thing that I made, so when you're decorating flowers.
So Diana has a good question. What buttercream works best with cookies as topper?
Well, I'm using American because the butter, when you put it in the fridge, it really firms up. And so that's what I wanted. So I didn't experiment a whole lot with a bunch of different buttercreams, but the American, if you like it and you don't mind the sweetness, you know, it does get quite firm.
I have a buttercream that I use with cookies, and the concern is that the buttercream is going to slide. I guess that's the concern if you're using it as a topper, right?
I guess, yes.
But American wouldn't slide. I mean, I don't think so. I use buttercream that has actually melted butter, or you can use clarified butter. That will make it very shelf stable, and it actually crusts really nicely. It's on the blog.
Oh,
it's so cute. Loving it.
So this is just a circle, a small round cookie. And often when you're making the flowers, so you're layering your petals and it gets very tall in the middle, kind of gets like pyramid-ish, you know? And so this way, give you occasion, if you do it with cookie, to give it a little press in the middle, and it'll cause a little bit of like the outside to kind of recurve up. Do you know what I mean? Instead of forming like a pyramid at the center of the cupcake, you're pressing this cookie in and it'll kind of, you know, help for that. So here I've got a nail. I'm just adding a little bit of the buttercream to it, squishing. And it's basically, it's a cookie, but you're doing like the cake technique. And so this is a 104. And I'm just adding petals to the edge here. So I've got the nonpareils to mimic pollen, kind of ish. You see? So it's kind of a little bit curved over onto it. And because it's a cookie, you can, you know, I've seen some flower middles on cupcakes, beautiful, but so long, you know, if you're sitting down and actually doing decorating. So this way, if you make your middles, well, you can make them the day before in advance and then pop them more quickly onto your cupcake. So here's it says it's a gem. Oh yeah, so it's a 104, and I'm just going to be adding some petals going around the cookie. Force of habit.
Well, it could be a cookie. Yes. Jacqueline, thank you for watching. Good luck to your husband.
So I did one row, and now I'm going to do another. I'm going to stagger them. And I do pop them in the freezer before attempting to handle them because this is buttercream. It's not royal icing, so it doesn't dry completely.
Okay, guys, give us a thumbs up if you love this. I think it's so beautiful.
And now I'm just giving it a little press there.
But it's frozen, right? So that's why you're able to put some pressure.
And you see, it gives it like a little bit, and then you have a little bit less buttercream than normally, and you have all the volume too. You see the side view.
And this is totally applicable on cookies as well, because you could make the center ahead. It's a transfer, right? And then you kind of finish up, and it's really nice. Thank you so much, Judy.
And then I do have some smaller leaves. These are like, oh, thank you, Judy. So these are smaller leaves. This is the Wilton 3-piece set. This is a great set. It's a nesting set, this particular leaf. And you can just kind of press it in there. And you can add a little leaf if you want to your cupcake, you know, little flower. So that's it. Just some ideas to incorporate some cookie decorating to your cupcake decorating if you're an, you know, hardcore cookie decorator and you cave to the occasional cupcake. This way you can incorporate the two crafts together.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Let me just...
Do you have all of them? Can you show, can you show all of them?
There we go. So cookie leaf on the rose, butterfly here on this little swirly, and then here my little leaf cookie in this kind of fluffy flower, and then the little bee. I like the little bee. I find it could be really cute on.
It really pops. The little bee, it really pops with the bright yellow color. It's very nice. These are great.
Well, that's it.
Thanks for stopping in, Judy. Thank you.
I'll switch out there. There's the camera.
So I'm going to do
now you're in the hot seat.
Something. What?
Now you're in the hot seat.
Yes. I haven't done this before, guys. Never. So I always decide to do these things live, as always, because it's so much fun to be so stressed if it's going to work out. But
exactly.
I'm going to start with the first thing that I made. And this is I pre-recorded this, and I will also have a step-by-step. So I actually made pencil cookies using colored cookie dough. So here you see me adding lemon yellow into my cookie dough, and I'm just going to color my dough with pink. What's the color of pencil? Pink, yellow, and I also added a little bit of brown to it. Now, you want to color your cookie dough before or right after you make it. I don't like to refrigerate it because I don't think it takes color as well once it's refrigerated. So it's best to color it right after you make the cookie dough. Now, today I'm using cookie recipe that I use for my mini tarts because I love how it tastes, and it's very, very soft, not soft, like melt. It has a melt in your mouth feel. So once I colored all the dough, also make sure that you wear the gloves because this is pretty. See, I was using a lot of pink because I also was a little concerned, like Marlyn said, in baking, food color usually tends to fade. So I wanted to make sure that I have a strong color in there. And then I made a log with my yellow ivory color. You could also use some brown food coloring and pink, and then I froze it. So essentially, this is like an ice box. What's it called? Ice box piece. Yes. And these are really. See, there was a tear, so I started all over. So I really didn't trim this video much, so you can see the whole process. What I was doing, how I was figuring out how to shape it. So I kind of rolled it into same size logs, and then I was able to stack it. You want to use a little bit of water, not too much, just brush a little bit of water on each layer just so it doesn't separate during baking. but you don't want to do too much. And then you just freeze it. You could also freeze it overnight. It doesn't hurt. You can make it ahead of time and just freeze it. Cookie dough freezes well for up to 3 months, so it shouldn't be a problem. Just make sure that you wrap it really well in food wrap, and then also put it into a Ziploc bag. Okay. And I am using silicone rolling pin, and I'm rolling it out on a silicone mat because it helps. It prevents dough from sticking, and you don't have to use as much food coloring. Okay. I don't know what I was doing there, but I guess I was trimming it and seeing the size. All right, so layering it on there. It's still pretty soft. Like I said, it's just after I made the dough. And now we can do the...
When I experimented with colored dough, I found that if you colored after it had been refrigerated, the dough just didn't bake. It got all wonky in the oven.
Oh, it did? Okay. Oh, I'm not wrong about that. That's good to know.
It got like weird.
Really, I guess it doesn't take like the butter. Like the butter is still soft at this point because you cream the butter, right? So I guess it doesn't take the color well once it's refrigerated and butter is firmed up. I guess that would be my explanation. All right, so now I'm going to wrap it in a food wrap, and then it's been chilled. Okay, I'm just getting the wrap.
So this is basically like a polymer clay cane.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's not as fancy. I did one time do the roses. I don't know if you remember years ago. I should do that again.
Concept.
Hmm?
It's the concept I just mean.
Yes, the concept is absolutely, yes. Okay, so there you go. Beautiful little block. It goes into the freezer. And then once you're ready to make your cookies, you just, okay, I don't know what this is, but because it didn't, not sure what that was. Anyway, the cookies are here. Not sure what happened there because I will try to fix it during the live when I'm working. But here are the cookies. So essentially, you cut the slices, and then you cut them, and then you trim the top. Okay, and this is what they look like. I bake them on a perforated mat, and I also used, and many of you probably seen this before. This is a really fun tool to have. And this is a small alphabet impression tool that you can use. So all you have to do is thread the letters in. So I did A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I don't know if you can see. Can you see? Probably.
Yeah. But you could make a batch, freeze it, put a couple in your kid's lunchbox every day.
They're really cute, and they are so tasty, I have to say. And I've had this impression alphabet tool gadget like for many years. You just have to make sure that you put all the letters in a bag so you don't lose them. All right, so these are really fun to make, and I'm gonna use them to decorate the cupcake cake that I'm making today. Okay, so I've got my cupcakes here. All right, this way. I'm going to face it this way. And I've never made a cupcake pull-apart cake. So this is the first time for me. And so I did a little bit of research about it. So I didn't know. I know you've made it. I didn't know you're supposed to secure the cupcake onto the your whatever you're putting them on. Did you know that?
Well, I think that yes, I did. But I mean, I think you have to think about: are you traveling with your cupcakes? If you're making it at home for your own family, I don't think you need to get all, you know what I mean? Like it depends how much transit your cupcakes are going to be.
I'm not using a fancy board. I'm just using a tray I have. So I'm just gonna put a little buttercream on the back, just so that they're not sliding as I'm trying to ice them. Anyone guesses what am I making? It's back to school theme.
I'm not guessing since I know.
I'm guessing since you know. Yeah, that will be.
I'll be cheating.
That will be cheating. I also had to get really creative with the crumbs because here I couldn't source out. Everybody recommends using cookies and cream. Cookies and cream, I don't know, like sprinkles or something. Have you used those?
I'm not an Oreo person myself.
So I don't have those, but I did. I think it made a good choice of using what I was using.
Backpack, Diana, a book.
Nope. Oh, it is a. Oh, bus would be also cool. I was also thinking.
Board, backpack. What backpacks?
I'm trying to make a composition notebook, right? So we'll see how that goes. Now I'm going to do one more thing. I'll show you how I color my Swiss buttercream because that's what I'm going to be using today. And Swiss buttercream is known for being difficult to color. And instead of using chocolate buttercream, because I find kids prefer vanilla over chocolate, most kids I think, so I'm going to do all vanilla, and then I'm going to color some with black, and I'm just going to smear it on the top a little bit, and then I'm also going to need some black for the binding part on the end, okay? So, oops, what am I doing? So what I do when I color buttercream, Swiss buttercream, I add a little bit of buttercream into a bowl here, and then I add my food coloring, and I'm going to microwave it until it melts, and it just seems like you'll see the difference. So now you can see the color is not even, it's very hard to
like grayish.
Yeah, get it in. Like, I don't know if you can see, it's like retracting from the buttercream almost.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to, yes?
I said we can't really see, but I understand what you're saying.
I'm going 5 seconds.
So I saw some people are already sending their kids back to school. Us back to school is September 1st. When's your back to school in your neck of the woods? I'm curious. You guys are watching from all over the world.
All right, so I'm back. Hello. So here is my black buttercream. You see
it completely changed.
It completely changed. So what I like to do now, and while it's still warm, I'm going to add a little more of this white buttercream. And I'm just going to
August 18th, 16th.
So this is how I color my Swiss buttercream when I'm working. Now, if it becomes too soft, you can always pop it into the fridge so it firms up. It's still not black as I would like, but I'm gonna just leave it as is. I don't want to waste all the food coloring, but if you wanted to make it like pinch black, you just keep doing that, or you can start with chocolate buttercream, obviously, and that will give you. Okay, so now the next step is the composition book. Has this funny design on the top. So these are actually Oreo cookies that I froze and then I chopped them. But I don't know. I'm missing the white pieces. Got a little coated with crumbs, and you can barely see them. So I don't know if this would work for my topping. But what I ended up doing, I ended up actually using cake and cake crumbs. So I used chocolate cake and vanilla cake. I made cake crumbs, and I used it to create the design on my. Everybody goes different days, huh? New York.
In Spain, when the kids go back to school in Spain?
I don't even know.
No.
I don't know.
So if you're joining us, Hannah's making a pull-apart back-to-school cake, and I made some flour cupcakes. You can watch the replay if you want to catch up on what you missed.
I see that this is a little different than what I made because I used a different. I used my chocolate cupcake recipe to make the crumbs. This is a chocolate cake. It's a different cake, so this is more brown than dark. going to look definitely different than what I have made before.
Cynthia, send me a message via the coffee shop, and I'll get back to you with your issue.
Okay, so these are the crumbs I'm going to use on the top. All right. So now I have to wash my hands, and Marlyn is going to entertain.
After Labor Day, we're like the 1st of September, like usually I think 6th of September, so it must be about the same. New York is pretty close to us here in Montreal. I've got a first time my daughter is going to university, so I have a first time university student this year. Back to school is not quite the same as back in the day when we used to go get the rainbow backpack and rainbow pencil case.
All right, so now I'm going to spread some buttercream on this.
Yes, back to school is Catherine, I'm guessing you're talking about COVID. It's far from over. Hello, Julie. So you have an assortment of flavors there. They were in the freezer. I'm guessing you have a chocolate.
So I have coconut. I have coconut. This is a white cake, chocolate. This is my favorite chocolate cupcake ever, and this is the one I used in original when I first made it yesterday, and it's a lot darker than what I'm using today.
So if you're making a pull-apart cake, there's actually if you don't care about your cupcakes looking perfect, you can put the liners in the shaped pan, your cake like you want it to be. So in this case, you could use a like a rectangle cake pan, put in your cupcakes, and then they kind of hold each other up, and then you pull them, and then they'll get all wonky, but your shape will be more kind of rectangular, and you won't have the gap. So something to consider if you don't mind them not being round. This is kind of the more norm way, but the other way isn't bad either. Like if you have trouble filling in the gaps with the icing, that way you have no gaps.
This is not a rocket science, really. It's very simple design. Not a whole lot of buttercream either. So now I'm going to leave this section without the crumbs. I'm going to try anyway. So I need a little piece of wax paper.
That buttercream looks yummy, I have to say.
That's Swiss buttercream. I have a recipe on the blog. We don't make Swiss buttercream.
Just updated?
Yes, it's the one that I just updated. So I'm putting this on so I don't get the crumbs on here. Because then it's hard to, as I learned, it's hard to attach anything to it because crumbs make it impossible because they prevent things from sticking. So like I said, this should be, if you decide to go this route, make sure that your cake is dark chocolate brown, like my cupcake. I used a different cake for the live, and it's not as dark. So I don't know if I should go with the Oreos or I'm just gonna, I guess I'll add some Oreos to this.
Do you have enough?
No, I have Oreos downstairs, but not here. So I would have to.
Why don't you do a combo?
I'm just gonna do a combo. I mean, that's what you do, right? So I'll just mix some of the.
Hello, Karen. Yes, well.
Make it slightly darker, because it's really like more brown than.
I mean, don't get too hung up on colors.
Fun because they do come in different colors. Yes, I did see they do come in different colors. All right, so this is like very difficult to do now. So this is the most difficult.
Yeah, that's very technical.
This is very technical. You just have to dump it on there. Oops, I'm dumping it everywhere. Okay, you don't need that much. So now just kind of spread it. I know it doesn't look like much, And once we add the details, it's going to hopefully look like what it's supposed to look.
So Catherine's asking about the black icing that it stains. She's worried about it staining. It kind of does, right? I mean, it's not
What black icing?
like the black, you know, that you made just before. Like if you eat that, do your teeth and mouth get black?
Well, yeah, they kind of will. What you could do, you could also use, if you are really like opposed to black food coloring, you could also use some ganache, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Some dark ganache. I think ganache you could probably color with black. No, just like you could maybe get really dark chocolate and maybe it will, you know, be enough for what you're looking for.
People are using now is that charcoal.
Yes, but the charcoal. The thing about charcoal, I would be careful about using charcoal. I don't know about the like the food grade what people are using, but charcoal is used in medicine to treat some, you know, if you have some stomach issues. And what it does, it actually absorbs the toxin in your body, but with that it also absorbs good stuff. So if you are on medication, and this is not, I'm not a doctor, but I know this from a fact because I have taken charcoal over the years when I, you know, whatever, for pain and stuff, or not like for stomach issues. But yeah, so I would be careful about that.
Thank you, Mary Jean.
Okay, I'm just gonna take it off.
Carol loved your pencils. Christy,
Okay.
done with school.
All right, so I have to wash my hands again.
Yes, it is a color that is, the red and black can be quite messy.
All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pipe this section.
That is possible, Karen. Karen's saying that the kitchen sink black doesn't stain as much.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. I do believe that. Yes. Can you elaborate what's a kitchen sink black? Somebody doesn't know.
Sink black is when you take all your leftover colors and use that to start your icing. So you might obviously need to add a little bit of food gel, but once it's muddied with all your different colors that you're putting in the bowl, well, you have to add less. So it's kind of a starter. You're pigmenting it to a degree, and then you add whatever's missing. And you don't always black, you know, black doesn't have to be jet black. You're not replicating the Mona Lisa. It can be, you know, darkish gray. It's fine. It's food. You know, it doesn't have to be the black hole. Which brand is the kitchen sink? The kitchen sink. You have leftovers, so there's no brand. It's just your leftover.
I think Catherine is being very funny now.
Oh, is she joking? Well, I took it literally.
I think it's a joke. It's an excellent joke. It's funny. It's very funny.
It went over me.
All right, so now I'm going to, obviously you could just,
Hello.
I'm being a little fussy. I'm not just going to spread it because, oops, a little
I'm
far.
going to try the kitchen sink. I mean, the thing is it gives you occasion to use up all that leftover icing that we always have left over.
Do you know the brand of your kitchen sink? Do you? You're smiling, but you didn't say anything. I mean, seriously, do you know the brand?
No. And so, yes, it does have a taste. Black and red does have a taste, and the chocolate.
Well, if you do royal icing, now let me back up. If you do royal icing and you don't want that black taste, I add a little cocoa powder, and it really does enhances the flavor. It's very nice. But just be careful because then you'll be like eating the black royal icing, not thinking it's black royal icing because it tastes like cocoa powder. Like it's good.
Yes.
So just don't get.
And another option, if you don't want to use the cocoa powder, is a little bit of lemon juice. Like Han's recipe calls for lemon juice. I like to add a little lemon juice. It cuts the sweetness, and it does mask those chemical kind of flavors, you know. If you're using the red, the super red, especially the super red is quite gross. And
all right, so this goes in the fridge. Doesn't look like much. We're not there yet. So I'm going.
That's how it is. Always when you're kind of putting a project, right?
Yep.
Together.
So now the next step we are going to do, it's really fun, and I hope this will be entertaining. We're going to use some fondant, and I made fondant yesterday from marshmallows. Has anyone made marshmallow fondant before? I'm waiting. I'm literally. It's so silly because I know we are live, but I'm like waiting. Me. And all right, so let me just quickly show you. So I'm sifting powdered sugar. This is pre-recorded, and I'm going to use marshmallows. And what I like to do, I like to use a little bit of Crisco on the inside of my bowl. This is going to help me to get all the melted marshmallows out of the bowl. And normally it's recommended, or the most recipes use mini marshmallows. However, I couldn't source out this mini, and I have done this with regular size in a States, and it was no problem. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to it, just maybe half a tablespoon or something like that, and then microwave it. I'm also going to rub some Crisco on my tools. I want to try and make it so bad I'm scared of it. I love using fondant. I know it's a terrible thing to do. Say you shouldn't be scared of it. It's really easy to make. It's like I've made it on a big scale. Like I've made some big cakes, and that's all I used. And I actually used a pot, a large, like I don't know, 20-liter pot to make like double or triple batches of fondant when I needed a certain color. Yeah, satin ice is really nice to work with. But if you are in a pinch and you don't have anything, I think this is also an option. And this is a mini batch, like a small batch of marshmallow fondant. It only uses 2 cups of powdered sugar. And when I work with it, I also like to use a little bit of, when I'm making little decorations, Tylose powder. I have it here with me. I'll show you what it looks like. Also, Wilton came out with their variation of Tylose powder or something like that last year. I have it here, but I haven't tried it yet.
I'm just going to add there, she gooped up her hands with some Crisco.
Yes. Yes, it was Crisco or any kind of vegetable tasteless shortening will work. It just helps to prevent your hands from sticking to this sticky marshmallow mess before it kind of comes together. The important thing is to keep kneading it until it kind of like is flexible.
You're making Play-Doh basically.
Yes, you're basically making it like edible Play-Doh. Yes, exactly.
Kathy, the lemon juice does not stop the royal icing from crusting.
No, it doesn't stop from crusting. No. So you want it to be able to, you want to be able to stretch it. And then I like to actually refrigerate mine. Oh, so how do you make your own fondant? I'm curious. Do you use gelatin?
Said Tylose powder.
Tylose powder. So I have it here. Just a second, and I will show you what it looks like. It has a, I don't think there is an expiration date. I really don't. All right. So here is the Tylose powder. It comes in a, I guess it could come from in a different packaging as well, but this is what it looks like. I don't know if it smells. I don't.
Kind of looks like meringue powder. Did you flavor it, Hen?
I did add a little bit of vanilla. You can also add lemon juice to it, marshmallow fondant. You can add essence of marshmallow. Essence of marshmallow to marshmallow fondant. Oh, I did not know that. But you could flavor it also. Now, one tip that I'm going to share with you guys today, if you are planning on using marshmallow fondant, I do have a large or regular batch recipe on the blog. And if you want to, so that's great. So Tylose powder, it's I don't think it's like meringue powder. It just lasts forever, I guess. So if you're trying to achieve dark colors like black color, you need black fondant or purple fondant or really like nice red fondant. I recommend that you add your color into the marshmallow once it's melted.
Yes.
So the heat of the marshmallow is going to activate that color, and it's going to really work for you because you don't have to. First of all, you don't have to knead the color into the white fondant. We all know how awfully painful that is. And yeah, so that's my tip. All right, so now we're going to got my fondant here. All right, so I used about half of it to make some of the decorations before. And I'm going to make my label. So this one, now once you add the Tylose powder, and you can really play with different amounts of ratios of Tylose powder you want to add. What Tylose powder does to fondant, it makes it basically a quick gum paste. So your fondant is going to dry quicker. Now, if you add more, it's going to dry faster and it's going to dry harder. So depending on what kind of softness you want to retain, you want to add more or less. Okay.
Can you add none?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But marshmallow fondant doesn't dry, or it does take a while to dry. It's not like satin ice. Satin ice, as you had mentioned before, right? You really like working with it.
But if you're just laying a shape on the surface of your cake, let's say you're just baking a birthday cake and you don't have the product, it's not moving. It's not like you're.
Oh no, it will be no. Like on a cake, it will be fine. I don't use it I don't use Tylose powder when I cover a cake. No. This is just for little decorations that I need them to be kind of like fast setting, that I want them to set fast. Okay. Now for this particular piece, you don't really need to use Tylose, I have to say, but it's just an option. Okay, so now I'm just going to roll it out. I also like to use a little bit of Crisco, have it on hand, and also and I don't have that on hand. Also some cornstarch. All right, now I'm using a cutter from Sweet Sugar Belle, but you can use any rectangular cutter. Just make sure that hopefully it's going to fit. It should fit, right? Oh, see, I twisted it too much. It's going to be fine though. So I'll just lay it here. And now I'm going to make letters that we will have. Oh, and also I need an apple. I forgot. So I've got some red here. What happens when you prepare your fondant with Tylose a day before? Even though after it's wrapped, you see it's quite hard to work with. Like it's quite difficult. So I'm going to a little more white fondant, and then you can also use a little bit of glycerin. Glycerin is great to use in the fondant. It kind of reintroduces moisture and it makes it more pliable.
Tori wants to know how long you put it in the fridge to firm up.
To firm up, if you are in a rush, you can just do like a couple hours. I personally really like to keep it in there overnight.
Raquel is asking the best dairy-free milk for buttercream icing. So I'm guessing you're saying dairy-free butter, not so much milk.
Well, you don't have to use, like, if the recipe asks to use milk, like usually it's like 1 to 2 tablespoons or something. You don't have to use milk, right?
Yes.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like buttermilk, usually the issue is more the butter than the milk.
Yeah.
Say a little bit of almond milk is not. So I think the big thing, like Ken's in Spain, I'm in Canada. It's where you are, not like we could say something and it's not available in your country.
The Mycos was the butter, was the vegan butter, Mycos, or vegetable, or like a vegan shortening.
I have it in the fridge. The one that everybody uses, Earth Balance.
Earth Balance, I really like. It's available everywhere, but I meant like more Earth Balance. It's I don't know if you can you make buttercream with it?
I think people kind of do. Here, what I've been using is the Baicel. In Canada, we have this brand, Baicel, that came out with a vegan baking sticks, and it's excellent.
Oh, yes, I have used those. Yes, I forget. I forgot that I have used those. Gosh, I haven't worked with fondant in like ages. It's been a while.
The brand Saraceno. I don't know that brand. A Satin Ice does a great job. Satin Ice started selling at Michael's, actually, these really little, tiny little pouches. Or if you want to pick one up, then, you know, you just pick it up with your 50% off coupon and just set it aside if you need to make little flowers.
Great. Really great. The only thing is, because I have worked with those, you have to make sure that if you don't use all of it, make sure that you seal it really, really well. Really well. Like I would say, really like actually rub it with Crisco or something to prevent them from drying out, because
Well,
they
have also like the sealer. A lot of people have that electric sealer, you know.
yeah, exactly, something that you can use to so it doesn't dry out.
Your fondant colors are very true. I mean, they're very dark.
They are, aren't they? Now I'm using just a small. This is a petal cutter, and I'm just going to kind of shape it to make a leaf. You can. It's fondant after all, so you can make it anything you want.
Cynthia's asking about the taste Wilton versus Satin Ice.
Oh, Satin Ice. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, for me, at the end of the day, what it boils down to, because I'll just push either, you know, doesn't matter to the side, but it's how it reacts when it dries and stuff. And the Wilton doesn't dry as well as the Satin Ice. So if you're making little elements to add, the Satin Ice just dries so nicely.
It really does. And it also ships well. Like if you ever decide to ship your Satin Ice decor,
They've got tropical fondant.
Tropical fondant. Satin Ice sells almost all, and new tropical ones hold up. Wow, what's in it?
Interesting.
I would like to know what's in it. All right, now I'm going to make a little stem. Yeah. Yeah, most people do recommend Satin Ice, yes. It does. It's very nice to work with. So this is like when you are in a pinch. But like I said, I have worked with Marshmallow Fondant for many years, and I love it. It's great. Okay, so to make it stick, now sometimes it sticks on its own. Sometimes you need a little water. I'm just going to grab a little water because I don't have any here. You can also make edible glue. Now, edible glue you could make actually from the fondant that you mixed with Tylose powder. What you do, you take a little piece of fondant, you put it in the water, and you let it completely dissolve, and there is your glue. But a little water, not a whole lot water. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, if you test it out, Toy, let us know what you think of that tropical fondant. I had no clue there was tropical fondant, but I mean, there's so many parts of the world that have that climate, so it's only logical that they make something that's going to work. That's a huge market.
I completely forgot that we need some letters because I decided to put some letters on the side to make it a little more
Schoolish.
Coolish.
Christy likes your apple. It's pretty close to perfect.
Pretty close to perfect, yes.
Oh, here. I have a matching.
You have an apple? You have a cool apple with the candy. All right, so Now you want to, now I know this is totally optional, but I have some numbers and letters. These are actually cake boss. I picked these up years ago. I don't know if they even sell those anymore, but you can get
find them at usually a liquidation at TJ Maxx or Marshall's.
So yes. So now I'm going to cut some letters. I'm just going to do ABC, right? So to get these out, what I'm going to do now, this little guy can go. We don't need him. I'm very gently going to release or get one side out, okay, like this. You see how it's out from here, and then I'm just going to run this along the edge to get it out, okay.
So answering your question of the ingredients: sugar, corn syrup, canola oil, water, natural flavor, cellulose gum, glycerin, citric acid, STS, soy.
STS, is that how it is? STS with a question mark?
I don't think so. I think
I guess you just interesting. Well, I guess we know everything, all the ingredients, but
you have to compare it to the regular version. So another option, if you're cutting your pieces and it's causing you a headache, you can just put a piece of saran wrap on the fondant.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes.
So then when you cut through, the fondant doesn't actually touch the cutter and they pop out.
That's an excellent trick. You're so smart.
I try.
Your brain is on fire, I know. I should try that.
Those little cutters, I mean, can be such a total pain in the butt. So
yes, they can.
That little trick sometimes will save you a big headache.
Yes, we're doing it my way. I'm too lazy to get them. I really wanna, but they all okay. I'm not gonna do it. All right, so let's do B. See, things don't have to be difficult, but I like to make them difficult. Now this B is very difficult. So if you don't have a wrap, you just go along the edge. You want me to get the food wrap?
No, I was just making a suggestion. I mean,
the food wrap to see the difference. Let's do that. All right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Is Ryan connected? So I was just wondering if my audio was messed up.
I can hear you. All right, so I'm gonna do number 3. Okay, let's do it. So
you're doing it with the thing. Oh, let's see. It makes a difference. Ta-da!
Look how show off.
Well, I love that technique for cookies. Sometimes I cut little cookies.
Right. What it also does, it gives you a slightly rounded edge, which is very nice also. So I'm actually doing A, B, C, so I need my C, and I guess I'll do, all right. Let's speed it up. You're distracting me.
I'm sorry. Yes.
So we are in August. Yes, that's a good idea. So we're doing, now I need C. Oh, I forgot. This one didn't really. Okay, that's good. I have ABC. And now we need number 1. So I've got my number 1 is here. These bigger ones are not too bad.
So
these numbers are really nice. Yes.
Saying the different a choice saying I'm saying she, sorry if you're a he. palm oil is the difference, and potassium sorbate. But
And
the palm oil, a lot of people are against the palm oil. I don't really know too much about palm oil, but
well, the thing is, most people don't eat fondant anyway. So it's the main. I guess it's mainly the purpose of a decoration to be able to decorate a cake in the heat of the summer, right? I guess I've never heard of it. I never heard of tropical fondant. All right, so let's bring my little. Oh, I'm not ready yet. All right, so I need to finish my label. And to finish the label, you can use, I'm just going to take it here. You can use a ruler. And I'm going to use, oh, I see it's still, oops. It's not completely dry. But I'm going to use my ruler here. Just make lines across. What can you see?
oh, you're making your little lines, yeah. I wonder, Toy, is it more expensive, this tropical fondant? We're on the tropical, is it, Catherine's curious about it. I mean, it's certainly worth a try. I guess you could pass the markup on to your customer. Oh, here, Jean is educating us on the palm oil. It's not always sourced ethically and destroys orangutan habitat. Oh, well, that's good to know. I thought also there was like health issues with it, but those are all. I mean, it's just now it's. I think pretty much everything just horrible. The news, everything is just business. They don't care what they kill as long as they're making money.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to bring my cake.
Do you find that your little fondant pieces, when you put them on the cake and then you put them in the fridge, do they sweat? Does it become yucky?
Oh, yes. So this is what happens even with, I guess, all of fondant. The problem is that it starts to sweat. So what I do when I don't touch it. Most people actually like how shiny it is, and I get asked, "How did you get your fondant so shiny?" Because I usually take a picture when it's so shiny. So it's the condensation. It just for large scale cakes, it takes several hours for it to kind of balance out because it's been chilled, right? So what I'm going to do, okay, let me just back up. I'm going to, oh, I'm losing my letters.
You're losing your letters.
Letters, not letters. Now you don't have to use anything, I think, to attach it. And just, well, let's just put it on. You'll be fine. You'll be all right.
Sadly not going to a party.
No. Sadly not. All right, so I've got my letters, numbers.
Party this weekend. Did you know? Did you know?
Yes, I know. We'll have a party on Friday. I know.
We're having a party on Friday. What?
We're having
Day on the weekend.
We are having a birthday party on Friday, guys. So be sure to join us, okay?
I'm gonna be 49 years young.
It's mandatory that you come on Friday. All right, so I've got where are my pencils? I almost forgot. All right, so let's finish this up. So I'm going to add this little fella here.
Oh, the cookie. I think everybody's going to be fighting for that cookie. You need to put more of those cookies on that cake. I don't think one is enough.
Well, we'll see. All right, so there's that. Is it starting to look more like the composition book? This the color is a little off, I know, but it's okay. You don't, like we said, not everything has to be. So I'm gonna do A.
Oh, should we have booze at the party? Whatever you want.
Yes, everyone needs to bring a bottle or at least a glass of something.
And I'm looking at your little pencils. I'm just wondering if you had made the yellow half the size, you know, like half the length, they'd be cute little cupcake toppers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It could be anything. I wanted these to be bigger.
Oh, bigger.
I wanted like the thing is like I would make like 2 pencils out of the out of the whole cookie dough. So yeah, I wanted to be giant, but no, you could make these as small as you want. I mean, you know, match
Yes.
size, whatever. Oh, this is unfortunate. I made my number 1 is also red, but okay.
Oh.
I didn't really pay attention, I guess.
Your numbers are cuter than those letters. The cutter for those letters a bit sad.
Yes, it's very it's very sad. Margaritas, absolutely. I'm in for anything. Well, good for sure. So here is my take on a composition book or notebook cake. Despite the fact that I don't have the proper crumbs, I think it turned out pretty cute. I mean, it's all about the details. So once you put all your little details on, it's fine, and kids usually don't care. Now I had a question because I didn't grow up with back to school theme. We never had back to school. Like people have parties, I guess, and all these things. So is this going to a teacher, or who is going to eat this?
Well, if I recall from the kids, because when I was a kid,
yeah,
a long time ago, as I just established, nobody was bringing cake to school because it just wasn't done. I mean, the teacher brought an apple one time for the class, a bag of apples. It was like a big deal. But anyway, but when I would bring treats for the kids, this would have been for the kids to share. On the first day, you bring in a little treat. The kids all kind of meet each other.
Okay.
And it's like it kind of makes a little activity. Treats at school.
Well, I suppose this year, last year it was forbidden, no?
I don't know if even this year will be.
I was really like, should I make a pull apart cake, because then everybody's like touching, like it should all be. So I don't know.
Now the adult will do the distribution, so not everybody's touching it,
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, so this is how you can make the little. It's 12 cupcakes, so it's perfect. You just make 1 batch of your favorite cupcakes, and you're ready to go. Now, I also made these.
Cupcake toppers.
These are cupcake toppers. These are also made with marshmallow fondant. To these, however, I did add some Tylose powder, so they would kind of harden a little. And then it's also easier to write on them once they harden. To make the holes, you can use drinking straws. Do you want me to show you how I made the book really quick, or no?
Well, yeah, I've got.
I'm just asking the folks. Do you we'll see what they send here. Kick Mom. Yeah, we never had that. It's unfortunate. We never had back to school treats.
Well, I have to say, hats off to the moms that have large families, because after 2 kids, being the cake mom, I was fully done. Like, thank you very much. It's been a blast. Bye. Like, I could not imagine if I would have had a 3rd child, I would have been like, you're getting a box of crackers. I mean, that is a lot of, and then the kids keep track, you did this for, and so, yeah, I just don't have the energy. Everybody's loving your cake. June wants to see.
All right, so I'll do a little book, because we need to read more. Everybody needs to read more and educate themselves about anything in the world.
Yes, Faye, they do. But in all, the kids did. I think everybody deserves a little treat. Is what I'm trying to say. It was difficult on the children as well. It was difficult on everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Mary Jean.
All right, so I don't have. If you don't have a lot of tools, you can just use what you have. Okay, so this is actually
Yes, this is not So go to the hardware store, pick up a paint stick, wash it, and there's your stick.
This is actually a rolling guide. Yes. Thanks for helping me with that word. It was very sweet of you. Very sweet of you. I couldn't remember. So I'm just going to cut a long strip like this. Okay. You can also, it would be ideal if I had a pastry wheel, but it's somewhere in the box. Who knows which box?
Amber's already tired at 2. She's saying.
Oh no.
But Sydney's might be demanding a little bit later. She'd be like, Mom, you got to show up for me too. See you, Cynthia.
Thank you for joining us. And I will have the
supply list
on Friday. And don't forget to join us and make sure that you come in with a glass of something, because we'll be asking you what you're drinking on Friday. I know it's going to be only 1 p.m., but it's Friday, so, and we will excuse you. You'll get a big excuse from us.
Excuse.
So I'm rolling this out slightly thicker, and I'm just going to use the same very...
They don't even send that, June.
Like I said, the pastry wheel would probably work a little better. Okay. I'm actually going to, like you can see, it's the same size. Well, it's good because you want the white part to be just a little bit smaller, okay, than the blue part. So the blue part is kind of like overhanging over it. Okay, so if it is a little bigger, you can just trim one end a little bit. Can you even see?
Yeah. Perfect. So ideally, guys, if you're making a fondant or whatever toppers for your cupcakes, do it the day before you plan. At least the day before you're making your cupcakes, so have the time to dry a bit, and you won't be as stressed. It's very stressful creating all these things. Sometimes you think it's going to take a certain amount of time, and it takes double. So
depending on the tool you can use, you can make as many pages as you'd like. I'm using an X-Acto knife. If you don't have X-Acto knife, just grab a paring knife. It will work as well. So I'm just making.
You already have a request.
Well, I love your 11-year-old. It's a great choice for a cake. Great choice for a cake. It's fun. But I don't know, because of the situation, yeah. Maybe you could make it still, but separate individual cupcakes and just dip it and you could put little toppers like this on there, all right? So now what I'm going to do, this one is already done. I'm going to place it here. We want a little bit of water, not too much, just so it sticks somewhat. Okay.
So if you guys you're just arriving and you want to see what else we were up to today, you can watch the replay once this is done. It'll be loaded to Facebook or YouTube. You can rewatch it.
Okay. I'm going to trim it. I'm avoiding to use an X-Acto knife because I'm working on a silicone mat here.
Yes.
Now I've seen a lot of decorators use, what's the mat they're using? Is it a sewing mat? It's like the board with the grid. It's like very, very firm and rigid.
It's called the healing board.
Okay, so on that, I suppose you can use an X-Acto knife, no? Or no?
Yes, you could use a healing board. I don't know if a healing board is food grade. I've seen people use it. I don't know if they're food grade.
I don't know. All right, so this is what it looks like now. I'm just going to,
I wasn't so relaxed earlier, Jennifer, when I was working. Now she's working. The pressure's off. I can just tease her. So that's why I'm relaxed. She's at the hot seat.
She is enjoying it. I'm letting it slide because it's her birthday week, but it's coming.
Oh, I haven't been too bad of a pain in the butt.
No, you have not. You were yeah, excellent. So now I'm going to finish off by adding this little groove here on this side. You see, it makes such a difference, right?
Oh, yeah.
On this side as well. Okay. And you got yourself a little book.
Very cute.
Okay. Now, if you want, you could also add some letters on there or something using the alphabet impression mat impression tool. I tried to use math on these, but I don't know if you can even. It was a bit long, so the book would have to be a little longer. But you could. I don't know if there are any. Yes, be nice. So these are made with a little bit of Tylose powder. So they're hardening up, and they are easy to kind of handle. All right. I'll just do one more, just quickly, and then we're also going live on Friday. Oh, we have mentioned that I completely. It's a senior moment.
That's fine. There's maybe new people. Are you doing any lives on Instagram?
I'm going to do live on Instagram, I think on Sunday.
Oh.
On Sunday, I think.
Are you, Amber, are you still on? Are you on live at any time this week? Yes, on Saturday. Or what is it? You get your birthday on the weekend like every 7 years or something? So doesn't really matter though if your birthday's on the weekend during like well now I don't know, just when we open up and start going to the restaurants again, I'm sure we're going to get locked down again. The 4th is starting.
Is there something that you wish for?
Really, we get older. It's not about stuff, right? It's about just being able to not feel certain parts of your body. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, okay. So if there was something monetary, what is it that you would like?
A monetary thing? I wouldn't mind taking a nice trip, but you know, yeah. There's no flying really.
Yeah. All right, so here are my little books. I've made these before. I also made little apples. These will be great for cupcakes. Also, you could also make these.
I like the little A+. That's super cute.
Yeah, so you could put your little apple on there. When you're making the apples and you want them to stand up, use a little something to make a little dent on the bottom. Okay, so this will help the apple to be able to it will be able to stay upright like that. All right. All right.
Very nice, Han.
So that's that. Thank you so much for watching, guys, for sticking with us for an hour and 18 minutes.
Oh, Kathleen, you're a teacher. Yeah.
Oh gosh, working remotely for 1.5 years. That's tough. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally get it.
Yes, I'll do the wine and chocolate. I don't have a bath.
You have a pool. You have a pool. That's perfect. You have a pool. You can just hang out at the pool. Just don't forget to show up on Friday, okay, at 1 p.m. because we'll be here waiting for you.
Yes, that's it.
All right, guys. So we are going to wrap it up. Thank you so much.
See you Friday. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.